Now we have to do the MCQs of states of matter and encircle the correct one. First is that which statement is not correct. It means we have to find out the incorrect one. A is that energy is released when a liquid changes into a solid. B, particles move faster in gaseous state than in the solid and then in the liquid state. The carbon atoms in gaseous methane are further apart than those in solid diamond. There is a large decrease in the volume of a solid metal when pressure is applied to it. We know that solids have a definite volume and there is no effect there on, or there is no change in the volume of the solid when pressure is applied to it. So this option D is the incorrect one. A gas cylinder is placed in each of the four corners of a square room. Each cylinder contains a different gas stored under same pressure. The gases are released at exactly the same time. Which gas will reach the center of the room first? So it depends on the rate of diffusion, and rate of diffusion depends on the molecular masses. So a gas with lowest molecular mass will have highest rate of diffusion. Out of these gases, ammonia is the one having least molecular mass. Third is that the diagram shows an apparatus used to compare the rates of diffusion. At which labeled position did a white deposit of ammonium chloride form? Now, on one side, we have ammonia gas with a molecular mass 17. On the other side, we have hydrogen chloride gas with molecular mass of 36.5. Hydrogen chloride gas is heavier than, or it has higher molecular mass, so its rate of diffusion will be less as compared to ammonia gas, which has higher rate of diffusion and it will cover more distance. As a result, the ring will form at position D. A drop of liquid bromine is placed in the bottom of a gas jar. Brown fumes of bromine vapor slowly spread through the covered gas jar. Why does this happen? So this happens because of diffusion, because the bromine molecules are in motion and they will diffuse among the molecules in the air, which are also constantly moving. So option B is the correct one, that bromine molecules and molecules in the air are always moving around. Fifth is that the diagram shows a diffusion experiment. Which gas, when present in the beaker over the porous spot, will cause the water level at Y to rise? Now, this will only happen if the gas in the beaker is a lighter one and it can diffuse quickly into the porous spot, or it has higher rate of diffusion than oxygen. As a result, what will happen? The gas pressure inside the porous spot will increase. This rise in the pressure of these, there will be a rise of pressure will increase over here. As a result of it, the level will fall down in this side of the U-shaped glass tube. As the water level will fall down over here, the level of Y will rise. So that means that we should have a gas over here which should be a lighter gas having less molecular mass. So out of these four gases, methane is the one having least or the lowest molecular mass. An inflated balloon goes down because gas molecules can diffuse through the rubber. Four balloons are filled with different gases at same temperature and pressure. Which balloon goes down quickest? Again, it depends on the rate of diffusion. That gas having the a gas having less molecular mass will have more rate of diffusion and it will move out of the balloon quickly as compared to rest of the gases. And out of these four gases, again, methane has the lowest molecular mass. The conical flask contains compound X, which is present in solid, liquid, and gaseous states. Which statement is correct? A gaseous X molecule has lower mass than liquid X molecule. Energy is released when X changes from liquid to solid. Liquid X is at higher temperature than solid X. Liquid X molecules vibrate at fixed positions. Now, uh, when a gas changes into liquid or a liquid changes into solid, then what happens that the molecules lose energy or their kinetic energy decreases, or you can say that energy is released or it's given out, and it's always an exothermic process. It's an exothermic change in which energy is released. So that means option B is the correct one, that energy is released when X changes from liquid to solid. Nitrogen dioxide is a dark brown gas and is more dense than air. A gas jar containing nitrogen dioxide is sealed with glass plate and is then inverted on the top of a gas jar containing air. The gas plate is removed. Which one of the following correctly describes the colors inside the gas jar after a long period of time? So after a long period of time, what will happen that these air molecules and uh, the bromine molecules, they will evenly spread out, they will mix up thoroughly, and you will see brown color in both the gas jars. So that's the reason that A option is correct, that you will see brown color in upper gas jar as well as in the lower gas jar because of diffusion. Ninth is, which diagram represents the arrangement of particles in a gas? In a gas, we know the distance between the particles is maximum. So option A is the correct one. Which property of a gas affects the rate at which it spreads out? Means its rate of diffusion. And rate of diffusion depends on molecular mass. Now the table gives data about four pure substances. Which substance has particles in a disorderly arrangement at room temperature? Now, disorderly arrangement means that it's this is a gas state, because in gases the particles are not arranged properly in a regular pattern. So, if we melting points and boiling points are given over there, if we draw a number line, we know that on the right side we have the positive numbers, on the left side we have negative numbers. And if we plot these melting points and boiling points over here on the number line, like for example, if we check A, if we check for A, the melting point is negative 114 degrees Celsius. This is the melting point of A. And its boiling point is minus 80 degrees Celsius. This is the boiling point. We know that at melting point, two states of matter can exist, and these are solid and liquid. These two states of matter are present at melting point. And when it's the boiling point, then liquid and gas states coexist. So that means at room temperature, which is 25 degrees Celsius, we will have A existing as gas. So the correct option is A. While for B, C, D, you can see the values are positive and they are far away from 25 degrees Celsius. The apparatus shown in the diagram was set up over a period of time, how will water level at X change? So A option A is will fall then rise and return to X. It will fall and remain at lower level. It will rise then fall and then return to X. It will rise and remain at a higher level. Now in the beaker we have hydrogen gas. So it's a lighter gas than air. So rate of diffusion of hydrogen will be more as compared to air. As a result, what will happen? The pressure inside the porous spot will increase, the level of X will move down, and the level will rise in the other side of the U-shaped glass tube. But this is not a permanent change. After some time, what will happen when the even distribution of gases will take place? Then what will happen? That the level of X will rise again and it will come back to its original position. So option A is the correct one, that it will fall, then rise and will return to X, means it will come back to its original position. Uh, 13th is, in which conversion do water molecules lose speed? So we know that speed depends on or movement depends on kinetic energy. In gas state, when when anything is present in gas state, the particles have maximum kinetic energy. So we can say the gas state in the gas state kinetic energy is maximum, and then these lose their energy and arrange them. The particles lose kinetic energy and arrange themselves in solid form. So that means that gases have highest kinetic energy and solids have lowest kinetic energy. So when gas changes into ice, then the particles lose energy, they lose kinetic energy. In a sample of air at 25 degrees Celsius, the molecules of oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide all move with different average speeds. Which of the following lists the molecules in the order of decreasing average speed? Now, again, the diffusion depends on molecular masses. We have three gases over here in this table. We have carbon dioxide with a molecular mass of 44. Then it's nitrogen gas. The nitrogen gas has molecular mass which is 28. And oxygen gas, for oxygen the molecular mass is 32. Out of these three gases, nitrogen is the lightest one, so it will have highest rate of diffusion, it will move faster. Second will be oxygen, and third is carbon dioxide. So this order is followed over here. So option B is the correct answer. Which change, 15th is, which change in condition increases the energy of particles in a reaction? Again, we know that kinetic energy is related to temperature. Kinetic energy is related to temperature. Greater the temperature, greater will be the kinetic energy of the particles. So option C is the correct one. Next is, a sample of pure compound is heated until it is completely molten, and the compound is then allowed to cool until it is completely solid again. The graph shows how the temperature changes with time. So when are liquid and solid both present? Liquid states and solid state both are present at the melting point. So melting point for this solid is over here, and over here we can find at melting point both solid and liquid states. So option C is the correct one, that we will find both solid and liquid states from B to C. A drop of perfume will, uh, a few drops of perfume were split on the floor. A few minutes later, the perfume could be smelled a few meters away. Which two processes had taken place? A. Diffusion and condensation. B. Distillation and diffusion. C. Evaporation and condensation. D. Evaporation and diffusion. So the correct option over here is D. 18th is a liquid is heated until it boils. Now the boiling the experiment is also shown, which result shows the liquid in the test tube is pure water. Purity of any substance can be checked from its melting and boiling point. Pure substances have fixed or sharp melting and boiling points. So boiling point of water is 100 degrees. If the water is pure, it must boil at 100 degrees Celsius. So option C is the correct one, that the temperature reads 100 degrees Celsius. 19th is that the diagram shows a cup of tea. Which row describes the water particles in the air above the cup compared with the water particles in the cup? That means in the steam. In the steam, we know that the particles are moving faster, and when something is moving faster, the distance between them will also be maximum. So, A is that they are moving faster, a moving faster, but they are closer, which cannot happen because particles cannot be closer together if they are moving faster. B is they are moving faster but they are not close together. So correct option is B, because they are moving faster, so and they are not close together. C and D are that they are not moving faster. So in a gas, the particles must be moving faster. Next is methylamine, the molecular mass 31, and hydrogen chloride, HCl, with molecular mass 36.5, are both gases which are soluble in water. The gases react together to form white solid, methyl ammonium chloride. In an experiment to demonstrate rates of diffusion, the following apparatus is set up. Where will the white solid form? Now here the molecular masses are given, but there is not much difference in the molecular masses. Like methylamine has a molecular mass of 31 and hydrogen chloride has a molecular mass of 36.5. Hydrogen chloride gas is slightly heavier than methylamine. So it will cover slightly less distance as compared to methylamine. So the ring will not be formed in the center, but it will be slightly towards C. So the correct option is C. The ring will be formed over here. Four identical balloons are filled with different gases, all at same temperature and pressure. The gases gradually diffuse out of the balloons. Which pair of balloons will deflate at same rate? So again, it depends on their molecular masses. Molecular mass of ammonia is 17, carbon dioxide 44, ethene, the molecular mass is 28, and nitrogen gas also has molecular mass of 28. So this pair of balloons means R and S. As these two gases have the same molecular masses, so they will diffuse out at the same rate. So our correct option is C, that balloon S, R and S, they will deflate at the same rate. Thanks for watching.